Greetings, my friends. We are all interested in the future, for that is where you and I will all spend the rest of our lives. And news like this will affect you in the future. The mysterious, the unknown, the skills of the modder, and the skills of the player and the manufacturer, all coming together as one community. That is why you are here. And tonight we will tell the stories of the miserable souls who made these mods, these products, these developments. We will tell you the undeniable facts of the truth and the justice. Can your heart stand the truth about the Nerf modding community? Welcome to episode 27. Season 2 of Nerf News Meow Ranch. I am your host, Chris Cartaya, and here we are going to have some good news today, some great stuff. One guy figured out how to mod an Omega kit to do full length and has really plagued us with, we never really went that far, did we? We never thought outside the box. Well, this guy thought outside the box, figured out that you can take, well, I think just about any long shot breach and probably full length it if you were to give it enough consideration. He took an Omega kit and he made it to have enough draw to do full length and a lot of really cool stuff. And a lot of those have been contained in this long shot kind of mentality of keeping things in one piece and keeping things where they're at. And I know if you buy a heirloom long shot, you want to kind of keep it that way. But if you want to shoot full lengths, not that I want to shoot full lengths, I'm a Stefan shooter. But there are other people that do. So he came up with this really great video of what I think not just an Omega kit can do, but I think just any kit can do, to be honest. Because most of the mods are towards the rear of the blaster. Let me show you. So this is a video from Mod Bros. He does this with a Zeus 2 and a long shot in the video. And he's using a Jet Omega kit right up there. But this can be done for just about any kit, I think. Because he did an incredible job figuring out how to grind the inside of here and fit it, and figuring out what can be done. He went to the store, he looked at some lawnmower stuff, yes. Interesting video. It reminded me a lot of Jangular's Nerf Life videos, where he would show his life and how he was doing things and everything else, and also like buying the parts and everything. So he took this catch right here. You can see how he grinded that away to give it a little bit more clearance for the springs. Yeah. So you know how I redo the Omega pusher? As a matter of fact, here's my here it is right here. Well, he's doing the same thing but in reverse. He's actually lengthening the system. Right? He's lengthening the system so that this can go farther back and have more travel to fit. And then after that, you cut the tube and there it is. On this side, you grind these catches over to these spots here to give you a little more spring clearance, and that does it. So he completely modified. It's kind of like what I did with Big Blue. If you guys saw the video, where I shortened this to give me more travel on this and give me my optimal firing draw distance of 3 7/16 inches to get me, actually I remeasure it's 93 cc's of air to go through 18 inches of barrel to optimize this for this barrel setup. So I actually made the barrel setup first, then with the 37.5 millimeter brass tubing, then went with the then adjusted the drawback, which shows me that this plunger rod system, or this idea of a plunger rod system, we shall say, is expandable. You can make it as long or short as you want. It's really neat. And he did the same thing. He shortened it to give it its optimal draw, so that it's not way up here when you do it, it's farther back. Yeah. So let me pause this for a second. So between modding the spring rest for the springs to go all the way back here, moving this back here, cutting this down to be shorter to accommodate for the shorter draw distance so that this can go in freely and plunger, he was able to make enough clearance up here to actually fit a full-length dart. Now, I think that this is the kind of thinking that has been missing from our community, and everybody will just go, oh, buy a caliber, or oh, just, you know, use this design or that design. You know, this is kind of what I believe they did with the Dart Zone Pro, is they gave it more draw so you can fit this, and they moved the spring rest back a bit and the trigger catch back a bit so that you can fit a full-length dart with an O-ring pusher. So I think this is, I like this video because it is a lot of out-of-the-box thinking. It's kind of like one of my videos where I'm modding stuff and it takes a while and I'm just sitting there and people get bored and what have you. But the result, trust me, you really want to watch this video all the way through, okay? And you want to watch it and look at it and study it, because there's a lot of stuff to learn here. But it's probably one of the first out-of-the-box thinking long shot videos I've seen for a long time. I've seen so many people do like what I do, where you're just keeping the normal long shot form factor. And if I really had a great burning desire to go full length, sure, I could do something like this, but of course I don't want to. I want Stefan. I want, yeah, boom, you know what I'm saying? So, this was a really cool video. Another thing, you never have to, oh, you didn't take this apart, I thought he did, but you never have to take this apart. You just take these two bolts and slide off. Most of your shotgun grips are that way, unless you have this front stay on this thing. Yeah, but nevertheless, really cool video. Give it a good check out. And I'm dying to see what else Mod Bros did, because this is really impressive. When we see somebody who really thinks outside the box and doesn't go like, oh no, boom cover darts can't do that, I might as well give up. Or, oh no, a pistol can't do that, I might as well give up. You know, I hate those kind of people. I like the people who sit there and say, this is not impossible. There's a way to do it. Let's see if we can do it. And if we fail, okay, then I'll resort to something else. But we don't just buy another blaster, buy another system. We try to make it work with what we have. And to be honest with you, I like a long shot system a lot better than a caliber system or a retaliator system by far, simply because you have more versatility aftermarket parts, and it's a little bit more solid. The blaster doesn't flex or bend at high velocities. You can scope it. It's great. But at any rate, let's get on the rest of the news, shall we? This is really cool, though. Give this a shot. Mod Bros Zeus 2 Omega Mod Guide Part 1. And what a Part 1 it is. Really, what a Part 1 it is. I cannot go without mentioning shoutouts to new channels, without mentioning Dart Rush Dane. He did a video recently. Had some really good music. I don't have it because of the copyright issues on YouTube, of course. He did a really good video of a capture flag round in a warehouse in Cincinnati. And I would love to have a gig like this, but his footage is really good. It's a little edited, it has a little score thing on it, but nothing really extravagant. Not like, hey, I'm using this blaster, and I have this many hit points, and, you know, little graphics that make it look like some giant version of GTA San Andreas. No, it's realistic, it's cut to the point. A lot of people, when they put up videos, they just put up their best moments and everything. I try to put up all of them. This guy seems to be pretty honest, and he puts up good videos. Good action, not boring, you know. So, anyway, he grabs a flag, he gets it, he runs back, he just runs for it. He does great, you know. So, and I would love that. This was filmed in a warehouse in Cincinnati, I think an old Jim B warehouse. But I am looking forward to more videos like this to come, some better videos like this to come from him. And keep it up. Keep up the good work. I subscribe to you. Feel free to message me anytime. Do watch the music copyrights, because they will get you. They got me. I had to redo this whole video. So I did shoot two versions. I shot one with the music, one without, and then the music one got cut down. I had to re-upload the whole thing and edit it. Oh well, no big deal. But at any rate, just we'll look out for that yourself. Be careful of the copyright clowns over at YouTube. They're monsters. I'm not a big fan of the NF Strike. I think everybody knows that I'm not a big fan of it. NF Strike. Everybody knows, okay, you may call me a little biased, whatever, but I've heard them do a lot of raw deals, like pretend to make, you know, artifact sleds, and we find out that the holes are all wrong and everything, and yeah, but you know what? Every once in a while, everybody makes a great product, and it turns out that NF Strike made a great product, and the Walrus, Walcom S7, one of my favorite YouTubers, along with Boomtendo, along with Drac, made a really great discovery when he was sent by NF Strike a select fire board for a Nerf Regulator. Now, this is crazy because, here, 1 second. Just 1 second. Here. You see this sitting up here? I bought that 2 years ago. Let me see that back there? That box back there? That's an unopened regulator right there. Yeah. I never used it. Let's see if I can get this lined up in the same place. Yeah. There we go. I never used it. I never used it. I never modded it. I never anything. I told myself I'm going to buy the first selective fire Nerf Blaster ever out there, and I still think that it should be explored. They should do more select fire. I don't like being stuck with full auto. I like semi-auto a lot better. It conserves the rounds a lot better and everything else, but it would be nice to have the option of full auto at the flip grip switch, or even better, 3-round bursts. I can think of a lot of situations where it would be nice to have just like that, 3-round bursts, especially really fast 3-round bursts. So he found this board from NF Strike, $35, not too expensive, and it alleviates a lot of the headaches that modders have trying to redo the circuitry with the pusher wheel, because it's a belt like a Hyperfire and everything else. Also, you can put motors on it. He tried it with a 3S motor. He says it overvolts it a bit, but this gives me hope, man. Can I throw some honey badgers in here? Can I throw some MTB motors in here? Maybe a new cage? I don't know. I'm thinking this is cool. Maybe being able to throw some more motors in here, and it's LiPo compatible. You just weld an XT60 to it. You can also use LiPos or IMRs for the weaker motors. He actually recommends that, but I personally would really like to see this thing shoot 150 feet per second. I would. To me, it just sits there. And yes, I go to Tag Ops and whatever and play. Which, by the way, I had a really great time this Friday. And I think next Friday I'm probably going to have another game. You should stop by. I really think that if I can get this up to 150, I could use this as like a King of the Hill primary or something. I mean, really. I mean, you guys all know I'm old-fashioned, Springer, everything else. But, a 3-round burst blaster that has selective fire to full auto and semi, I think would be really cool. I mean, you guys all know I'm Mr., point and shoot. Yeah, pretty much that's me. And you guys all know it. But I like that this gives you the options to do this. And, it's not that I don't like flywheel. It's just, I do really good aiming my shots and shooting rather than trying to unload rounds on people. And I've seen so many full auto failures. People just throwing magazines of ammo at me and not one of them hits. Just looks like on light speed or something, But yeah, look at this kit. Really nice, really simple. He puts the whole thing, Walcom puts the whole thing together here, so if you have any trouble... Oh, and it comes with an ammo counter on top of that. So if you have any questions, go ahead and look up his video on his channel, on Walcom's channel. It's not that hard to find. You just look up his channel and find it. And there you go. It's pretty cool. And he talks about how a lot of other full auto kits have issues, this and that. Dude, I'd love that campfire like that in my backyard. That'd be really cool. See, he lives in the cool part of the country where neighbors don't bitch if you have a campfire in your backyard, but if you live in Southern California, oh no, that's going to cause a brush fire. Yeah. It's so good to be free, Walcom. So good to be free. I know you guys hate me bitching about Worker, or bitching about anything Worker's done. I know. I know that I will unfairly get probably 4 or 5 dislikes for this, I know. But I am the news, and I'm going to be objective. It turns out that what I said about this front bobbin here, and this part here, is the truth. Harold Lim modded this. He tried to put a 25 kilogram spring in here. Ben Russell also did this. Tried to put a black tactical 25 kilogram spring in the Worker Terminator, and he had trouble with priming it. He says this thing just doesn't prime past 16K at all, even if you're like mega muscle man like me. Again, if you look at the design, you can see it. It's just like one bobbin and one bobbin, and when you pull it, it does that. So, of course, there's going to be some internal resistance here, as well as some flex resistance there. But, once again, I covered this. I was right. The flex going this way and the flex going that way is affecting the prime of this. And, of course, I don't want to go bolt sledless. That would be missing out on a sale, right, of a $50 bolt sled. Yeah, so I don't like that direction. Also, the Ace also had the bolt sled, and I think if you're gonna go internal prime, no bolt sled, just no bolt sled. That's how it has to be done. But people were having a lot of trouble with this, and I hate to say I was right, but I got 6 dislikes. So yeah, you guys eat it. Eat a fucking dick. That's right. I'm right. See, there it is. Eat a fucking dick. So you guys can't handle me saying my news and my opinion. Eat a fucking dick. Dead serious. Because I was right. There it is. And of course, I had designed an Eternal Prime before that got rejected because it didn't have a bolt sled. I know this. I know this isn't this so. And you look at a Terminator. I will say this though, for you all you worker nuts out there, okay, that I like the look of this blaster. It actually looks cool. It's like a dual tone. Like, let's say this was like if I had one, I would make this like blue and probably this gold. It actually looks cool. I mean, in clear, it looks a little 2x4, but once it's painted and you can see the lines better, I actually like it structurally. The design, it's an alright design, and it acknowledges that it should be a full, should be made for long barrels. It should have bracing for the long barrel too, which is also nice. Keeps it steady. It doesn't have the full rail on top, but let's face it, who's going to put a scope up here except filming equipment, camera equipment? I know I put like sling mounts here and here to kind of stabilize the spring back here a little better and to hold the barrel here better. That's what I use the sling mounts for. Not really to use as a sling, but more, yeah. So it is nice to have a full length. To have this full length, and it's really silly. It's like right now, but I don't know what the story is, but I'm betting if Jet had their shit together, they could have some Zeus 2s ready to go and go, well, it doesn't prime at 16. Well, ours can. Here you go. Very simple. It doesn't prime at 20K. It doesn't prime with a 22K worker. Well, here you go. Boom. And they could do that. They could have cashed in on this had they had actual models ready to go. But nope. They're allegedly getting rid of that for their great, wonderful Ace, which I'm betting is going to have the same issues, if not worse, than the Ceta. Especially if they're going to go with the bolt sled. Yeah. Plus, I kind of like the fact that this is solid. Yes, I have to take it apart. Yes, it's a lot of screws. But, to be honest with you, I'd rather have the solidity of the blaster rather than convenience. If I gotta take apart my long shot, I gotta take apart my long shot. Hey, if I gotta take apart my Zeus, I gotta take apart my Zeus. If I gotta take it apart to put in some crazy 28 kilogram spring load in there, or try out some other custom spring I'm using, hey, you know what? That's life. That's cool. That's fine. But something's got to be done about this priming mech. And that's funny, as somebody actually recommended, like I did last episode, just get a standard priming rod. Outer priming rod for the sled. Which wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean, then you would have it held on the top, and you'd be held on the back. But you're still limited to worker proprietary, and even when you're limited to worker proprietary, it still doesn't work like it should. This is a metal bolt sled. This thing should be able to take, like, 28, 30K. It should... no problem. I'm sorry, And this thing should be able to reach the full capabilities of the blaster. I shouldn't have to use a normal long shot or hunt down one of these Zeuses just to be able to run high yield and run it comfortably. I'm sorry. And to me, I care less about the Eternal Prime more than I care about the stability of the Prime, the less amount of flex in the Prime, and the ability to use any kit I want and high velocity. Bar none. I mean, full stop. That's what I believe. Okay? I care more about that than anything. So I really think Worker needs to work on this Prime. Even if they go sledless, which I think they can go sledless, if they just make a different bracket. And I think it would work better, to be honest. Or you're going to have a lot of very disappointed people, and you're going to be spending a lot of money on this expensive tooling that was so expensive you can't run more than one color. Ah! Yeah, I remember that pile of shit story. Right. So, really, if it really was that expensive, I would do something about that Eternal Prime mech. And I would do it fast. A while back ago, broke nerfing on July 12th, actually. did a episode, finally got his episode with Rob Lear, and they were discussing about mental health, and they were discussing the importance of going to mental health and the importance of getting yourself help and everything else. It was a really good episode. He ends up being a little louder than Rob. It's like when Rob's talking, you have to turn it up a little bit. But it was a really good interview, and I really liked, seeing Rob and talking to him, talking to, Broken Earthing and everything, and really just being honest and forthright. I thought he was very honest when he talked about his mental health issues. Jason, too, Broken Earthing, he talked about his issues, too, and that he's been in the hospital and what have you, and I have as well. I'm manic depressive. I'm disabled. I had a stroke when I was born. This is what I do to basically help me, and it helps me. It calms me down. It makes me feel better. Yeah, and I go to therapy and I take meds and everything else, but you really need more out of life. And I think that this is what this demonstrates in this community, is that we really need more out of life, and that this hobby really helps us, really helps people cope and live and be happy, and it's really cool to see that. So he was talking from his house, talking about everything else, and his life and his kitty friends and everything. I think he's a very creative person. You see all these murals and everything. Really, really cool. And I hope to see him on the field soon. And Matt Becker, too. I had some conversations with him. He showed me Dart Rush Dane. I really thought that was cool. I got to meet him, too. One day I got to travel. But I'm limited by funds and everything else. And, 3 of my videos got limited, got the yellow monetization, yeah. So I had reviewed all 3 of them, and all 3 got them. But for some reason, they're just targeting Nerf people lately, YouTube. And it makes it harder for me to go out there and meet people and see people and everything else. But that's another thing this reminds me of, is I really wish I could meet all these people. I really wish I could meet pretty much most or all of you. But there's not so much I can do. So all I do is do the news, because I am Cartaya. I do all. Has anyone seen this footage from Brit Nerf 3? Attack and defend. Wow, it's like full out war. So we're seeing a lot more of these full scale kind of things. We saw this with that Singapore versus Malaysia war. Now we're seeing this more with Brit Nerf and everything, with this heavy grass and everything. Whoa, smoke bombs, cover. Wow, this must have been some really kick-ass war. And I think this is really, really cool. Well, you're actually having battle lines and everything, and with the longer range blasters like a Big Blue and a Dominator and everything else, you can actually, really, really kick ass in these wars and really, really cover wide areas and large fields. I think that's fantastic. I'll see how everybody gets geared up and ready to go and just playing. Just really cool, really cool. And I hope to see more large-scale wars in the future, more things like that we can play and we can do. And I think that, wow. Can you imagine if we had a war all the way to the countryside? Okay, that's pushing it, but could you imagine if our objective was all over there? That would be so cool. I think that would be rad. I dream of the future, man. I see Nerf, I see it develop, and I really do see it just grow and go, wow, this is just great. Absolutely wonderful. So recently I fell into the peer pressure and the boredom of the kids, and I finally decided, okay, I'm going to do the bottle cap challenge. I'm just going to do it because, you know what? I'm sick of people bugging me about it. So, Ministry of Foam did one. It took him about 3 hours. He tried to snipe it with a long shot, which I don't think is the best to use, and I'll tell you why. Because, one, these really powerful blasters can break or deform bottles, especially caps, because they're plastic. They'll crack, okay? Number 2, I think you need a blaster that has a lot less, doesn't have any rifling, and has an average velocity. Maybe one like Mauser Fire did. At the time, it was doing about 150 feet per second. I measured it today. I put in some new springs because I didn't like 150, so I got it up to about 170 today. But let me give you some clues and tips on doing the bottle cap challenge. 1, pick an adequately powerful blaster. One that's at least 150 feet per second. Because if you don't, you're not going to have enough spin to take this off. Number 2, pick one without rifling. but one that is stable shooting. This is a great example. Mauser fire. Number 3, pick heads on your darts that are either waffle heads like this or domes like Pacties or whatever, because you have to grip that side of that dart when you hit it. When you hit the bottle, let me pick up this bottle of Tanqueray here. You really do want to hit this so it's like that, and it does that. Only hits it so fast that that becomes like a, yeah. Oh, and by the way, don't pick thick caps. Thick caps have trouble coming off. They won't come off. Unless you hit it from slightly above, then it will. But, yeah, if you're hitting it level, which, of course, is probably your best camera shot, you want to hit it level. You want to pick something like a water bottle or a bottle of Jack Daniels or something, okay? I think that glass helps because it's a little more solid. So when you're hitting it, it's not caving it. The cap will stay and the bottle will stay firm, and it will give its platform to launch better. Because you know how many shots it took me to do this? I'll be honest. How many shots do you guys think this took to do this? 2. It took me 2 shots. Here's what happened. So I'm across my bed. I'm shooting. But of course you know that the sight here is higher than the barrel. Okay? So the first time I shot, I hit the neck of the bottle because I was aiming too low. Okay, you see that where the top is? If I fire it here, it's going to be here. On a bottle of Jack Daniels, the bottle's way up here. So it was just below the bottle. And I realized, okay, I'm going to aim about half an inch higher. So I stopped the video, hit record again, did the next take, told everybody how freaking bored you are as kids, and aimed this slightly higher than the cap. So the sight line was actually kind of like that when I aimed it. And I nailed it. 2 shots. I was very amazed, impressed. Because I thought I was going to be sitting there all day. I had just gotten out of the shower. I was about to go to Tag Ops. And I was just like, you know, these kids bugging me. I get my phone and there's a message. Hey, you're going to do the Dart Cap challenge? Oh, I'm so sick of people bugging me the other day. Okay, let me load up my Mauser fire and shoot at it. So I didn't think I was going to get it. And I didn't think I was going to get it before Tag Ops. I got it in 2 shots. Yeah, so it's not hard to do, but you just have to think about your shot, your darts, and your blaster before you do it. But it can be done. It can be done. And it's not a dangerous challenge. It's not like the ice bucket challenge or like the saltine cracker challenge or the cinnamon challenge or anything stupid like that. Or the stupid Tide capsule challenge. I thought that was dumb. This is actually a good challenge. It's a helpful challenge that shows you the skill, and I think it's a lot nicer than Nerf Blaster than Roundhouse kicking a bottle cap off. I think it's a lot nicer of a challenge. You know, a lot more fun. So I encourage you to just be careful. Make sure you do it in a place where you're not hitting anything that's going to hurt anything or something like that. But I know most of my Nerf community guys pretty good etiquette with that. So I don't really have to worry about that all too much. But, yeah, it's really cool. So let me show you some footage from Friday, and then I think I'm gonna call it a day. Dude, it's getting so much more fun to play at Tag Ops. This was my last game I had on Friday. We were playing CTF. A lot of people showed up, not just kids, but older people showed up. As a matter of fact, the rounds after 8-10 were all for grown-up kids, and we were about grown-up kids, you know, adultish kids, teenager stuff. And we had quite a few. We had quite a good turnout. There were about 12 people in the adult round. I would say 35, 40 people in this round and parents watching. But it's so much fun. We played some CTF here, and it was just a blast. Absolute blast. You can see me there shooting my messenger. I got twin messengers for the adult rounds. I got 2 of them, which was so much fun. Messenger, really you don't need a full auto if you know how to aim. I mean, I got really good kills and really good hits with that. But this was a lot of fun, and I encourage you to go. It's on Lyons Avenue in New Hall, right by Vincenzo's, right by the 5 freeway. Check with Tag Ops on the Facebook page when they're doing it, because some Fridays they do it and some Fridays they don't. And they also have birthday parties, so if you want to have a birthday party there, it's really cool. So until next time, this is Chris Cartaya saying, don't you go changing, or I'll find you. And I'll send all these little munchkins after you. Booga, 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 booga. Ha, 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 ha. Where did I put that damn thing? Yeah. Booga, 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 booga. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, 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 ha. Good night, friends. The bottle cap challenge, huh? Let's face it, you kids are just bored. Sweet dreams. Oh, wait. Gotta go. Why do these guys assume I'm Indian? Does Cartaya sound like an Indian name? Does this sound like an Indian name to you? Really? Gosh. Fuck you, computer.